So this video is going to show you some examples of citing the sources that you are using for Essay 4. And I've started with my Works Cited page. I have it double-spaced without spaces between paragraphs of the same style, and I've got my title Works Cited here centered in the middle of the page, and the rest of my page I have left justified here. So the first sources that you might think about using in this essay are the videos from the beginning of the unit, from week 12. And so some people may be using the videos. Other people might say, well, it was kind of a starting off point for me for thinking about what arguments I have related to technology, but I'm not actually going to be talking about Nicholas Carr or Sherry Turkle or Glenn Greenwald. I'm just kind of using my own ideas and then pulling from those other sources. Now, other people are going to be using the videos, so we're going to talk about citing those videos. And there's actually two ways to cite them because they exist on two different kind of platforms that are accessible to you. Now, right now, we're looking at them as course materials, so you can cite them like you would cite course materials, like you cited the course materials for Essay 3. So anything that's kind of contained as part of our course, you can cite as course materials, and that would be correct. You can also search for the videos. So the Google is Making Us Stupid exists on YouTube, so you can go to YouTube and find it there and cite it like it's a YouTube video. The other two videos, if we kind of scroll down, those are both TED Talks. And so if I do a quick Google search, then I just spell TED, the first thing that comes up are these talks about technology, engineering, and design. And so I can type in one of the titles of those videos and it will find it for me, and then I can cite it like it is existing on that website there. I'm going to come back to citing this on the TED page. I want to start with actually citing one of these as if it is part of our course materials, and we'll start with Glenn Greenwald's Why Privacy Matters because it's here. And the first thing I want to look at is I want to look for a style guide, and you guys have a style guide in the Pocket Style Manual. It's a style guide, and so you can look at examples in the Pocket Style Manual for citing course materials. I also have pulled up here Purdue University's online writing lab because, as we've seen in other videos, they have an online style guide, and I'm going to use that just because you can see it on the computer screen while I'm talking to you. And so what's really handy when they first if we look at this table of contents, I've already clicked on MLA Style Guide at the beginning, and I'm on this MLA Formatting and Style Guide. And what's really cool about this new edition of the MLA Works Cited Citations is that no matter what kind of source you're using, there's really just 9 pieces of information that you're looking for and that you're trying to kind of input into that citation. And so if, for example, before we made the change to this edition of citations, people didn't know how to cite Twitter, and suddenly Twitter became relevant for political papers and other just exchanges of ideas, and there wasn't a format that existed. And so with this 8th edition MLA, they said, oh, let's just we don't know what kind of technology is going to come out that people are going to need to reference in academic papers, so let's just come up with a list of how we should input this information. And anytime you're looking at a style manual, you want to note the punctuation. And so after the author, they've got a period. After the title of the source, they've got a period. And then notice all of these other pieces of information are separated by commas. And then the citation itself, kind of like the end of a sentence, is ended with a period. All right, so the first piece of information it wants is the author. And again, I'm citing this like course materials. And so I'm going to type in Greenwald, Glenn. Remember, it's the author's last name first. And if you forget kind of how the entry needs to look, Purdue OWL has explanations of each of these pieces and then examples, quick, easy examples. So they tell you the author, begin the entry with the author's last name followed by a comma, and the rest of the name is presented in the work, and then end this element with a period. So it gives those really nice explicit examples and explanations there. And so it tells me the first piece is the author. Did I end it with a period? Sure did. And then I want the title of the source. All right, the title of the source is Why Privacy Matters here. In quotation marks, right? Because it's the title of a short video that is contained within something else. So then that next piece of information it tells me I need is that title of the container. And for this citation, we are thinking about this as being contained within course materials. So we're going to talk about how it's contained in course materials, and we want to provide the title of the course. That's one of the courses I'm teaching this semester. And then if we go back, so it says title of container, other contributors, not necessary, version, number. You might consider that the title of the course. Or the publisher is English 101. And then you want the location information. So we want that URL address for that source in our websites, or in our course. So the URL address for the course site. Then you want the date you accessed it. And you probably accessed this sometime between April 5th and 11th when we had the beginning of this unit. So I'm just going to say that you were like super excited to talk about the Unit 4 stuff. And so you accessed it on April 5th. All right. Now I've completed that citation for this video if I want to cite it like it is a course guide. I do want to italicize the title of the course because it's the title of a course that has smaller things in it. So it's a big thing. All right, so then I need to create a hanging indent for my citation. And so the easiest thing to do is to go to the beginning of that line. Click on that, hit enter. Oh shoot, it's gonna open this up. Please don't. All right, hit enter and then tab. Oh no, it's opening up the video. Let me close this. All right, here we are, back again. All right, and then we hit tab. You see it tabs the whole thing because we gotta hit enter. Enter, don't open the video. I don't wanna open the video. All right, tab. This is totally screwed up. So now you know even your instructor gets frustrated with this stuff, but I think I can fix it. So I'm going to go back to the citation because it just tabbed everything over, and now we're good to go. And I'm going to get rid of these underlines here. And so then Greenwald's last name is sticking out on my Works Cited page very nicely there. Okay, so now let's pretend we want to cite that Cherry Turkle video, but I want to kind of provide the context of the TED. That seems like maybe it provides some more oomph for me, more credibility to my readers if I am citing that from the TED Talk website itself than just these course materials. All right, so same thing. I'm still kind of looking for the author, the presenter. So I'll start here with, I want to go down to my next line with Turkle's last name, the title of the video, and then this publication type information is going to change. All right, so the container, this container is the TED website now. So I can put TED, and if I want to be really diligent, I can put the title, that subtitle that they have there. I'm going to italicize it because it's the container. I can read the next piece of information I'm looking for. Other contributors don't have it. Version, number, don't have it. Publisher. I could look for a publisher kind of in this, but it looks like it's probably published by TED, so I don't have to reiterate that information. I can also provide the publication date, which I didn't necessarily have when I was looking at those AS course materials. So I can do February 2012. I can add as my publication date. All right. Then the next piece of information my style guide is telling me is that I need the location, and that location is the URL address. All right, so I go back to this, I copy this. This is a shorter URL address because we're not inside of our weird course. Put a comma there. And then when I am using electronic sources, I always want to provide the access date. So same thing, real go-getter, started watching my videos day 1 of the week and did that. All right, so I'm hit enter and tab, and now we've got Greenwald and Circle kind of sticking out here. And that's citing the videos that you may or may not be using for this essay. A lot of people do use them because that's kind of where your initial ideas came from. And check out part 2 for citing the other sources, the required sources from the next week.